Yes.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. As I mentioned, I'm Juliet Terman. I'm a business development officer at Axion. I've been with Axion for about 2.5 years. Today I'm going to talk mostly about, just give a brief overview of who Axion is, and then talk about the programs that we currently have for businesses. Like Suzanne said, put your questions in the chat, because we'll have some time at the end to answer those. So if you're not familiar with Axion, we're a 501c3 nonprofit micro-lending organization. We've been in San Diego for just over 25 years, and we lend specifically to Southern California. So we lend to Imperial Valley, San Diego County, Riverside County, and San Bernardino counties. So that means that the businesses and the borrowers do need to live within one of those 4 counties. Axion provides educational resources and technical assistance. We partner with a lot of organizations all over Southern California in order to do so, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. And if you want to learn more about Axion, you can visit our website. Overall, our mission as a nonprofit is to provide economic opportunity for low to moderate income business owners who are traditionally lacking the access to traditional sources of capital, such as like from a bank. We are just one CDFI, and a CDFI is a community development financial institution. We're just one CDFI in Southern California. So if you are not located in our area, or you just want to see what other CDFIs may be available in your area, you can check out the 2 websites that are on your screen to find another CDFI near you. Those are both very good websites in order to look up other CDFIs. So with the COVID impact, we're currently offering 2 different COVID relief business loans, and I'm going to go through each of those now. The loans are both up to $50,000, and then we have our regular loan program, and that's up to $100,000. And again, I'll break those down and talk about each program specifically, and so we'll go one by one. Both of the COVID programs require that the business, like I mentioned, be located in one of those 4 counties that we serve, and also have a current source of income. The website on your screen right now, the socal.axion.org, is a really great website. It's our website where you can go and view each of the programs. So they have a summary of each program listed underneath them, and then they're all on one page. So you can kind of compare and see which one you may want to apply for if you are looking for funding. So the first COVID relief loan program that we're offering is a partnership with Wells Fargo Bank. They provided $1.5 million to us so that we could deploy in the form of small business loans. The term of the loans are between $5,500 and $35,000. And this is the most flexible loan that we have come out with. It's really meant to help diverse entrepreneurs who've been kind of left behind. They haven't qualified for any of the loan programs or grants out there. So this is specifically to support racially and ethnically diverse entrepreneurs. The use of the proceeds is for working capital. So this can be paying your rent, paying your utilities, payroll, insurance, anything to help your business during this time. And the interest rate is a 2.99%. And that's a fixed, simple interest rate. The term of the loans you can see on the screen are 36 to 60 months. That's actually dependent on the loan size. And there was actually part of the grant that Wells Fargo gave us is specifically to cover closing costs or fees involved with getting the loan. Typically, when you get a business loan, there are fees that you need to pay either upfront or they're financed within the loan. But part of that grant, we're actually taking care of those fees for you. So there's no upfront fees to cover as the borrower, and there's no prepayment penalties on those loans. So we can talk a little bit about who qualifies. Again, this is specifically for racially and ethnically diverse entrepreneurs. Now, this is a self-stated question on the application. So if you self-identify as racially or ethnically diverse, you may be eligible for this program. We're not going to, go and look into it and say, we don't think you are. If you identify as that yourself, then you are eligible for this program. Again, you have to be in one of those 4 counties. The business, this is pretty important. The business needs to be in business prior to the 31st of August of 2019. Okay, so if your business started after that date, or you're just starting your business now, this would not be the program for you. The minimum credit score is 500. You can also have no credit. That's okay as well. And then you can't have any bankruptcies or foreclosures within the last 3 years. You also cannot have any open liens or judgments. Those mean liens are typically back taxes that you owe. Judgments are if you got sued and you haven't paid those. As well, if you're on a payment plan for either of those, that's okay as long as it's 6 months. And you can't be delinquent on your child support. But other than that, with the credit, it is pretty flexible. You can have up to $10,000 in outstanding delinquency allowable within the last 3 years. So that's to say, if you have a couple of challenges within the last 3 years and that total does not equal more than $10,000, you may still be eligible for this program. So as I mentioned, it is the most flexible program that we have come out with so far. Another requirement for this program is that you take a business counseling appointment with a business counselor with one of our partners, and this is totally free. Or we have a resource where you can work with a credit or a financial, I guess they're called credit counselors, to help work on your personal credit. And again, that's totally free, but that is one of the requirements for this program. Now I'm going to talk about another COVID loan program that we're a part of. This is through the state of California. It's called the California Rebuilding Fund. These loans are from $2,000 to $50,000 with our organization. We are just one of about 12 lenders in this program. So if you apply with another lender, the maximum for that program is up to $100,000, but with us, it's $50,000. The interest rate for this program is 4.25%, and the first 12 months are interest-only payments with a total term of up to 60 months. And then you can see the fees on the screen are listed there. So up to $5,500, there's no fees, and then there's a $250 fee for loans over $5,500. And again, no prepayment penalties. And so we can see who qualifies for this program. The time frame for this one is a little bit different. You had to have been in business before June 30th of 2019. So again, if your business is started after June, or you're starting this year, this is not the program for you. But you can check out more information on their website. It's caloanfund.org. And also there's a pre-application that every borrower must complete first before applying directly with the lender. So the process is you would go to that website, the top right-hand corner, it says pre-application, you would click on that. And then once you fill that out, it's asking you basic questions about your business. Once you complete that, it matches you with lenders. And I say plural, lenders. It'll give you about 3 or 4 different options. And then you pick the one lender that you want to apply with. So you can't just apply with all the lenders, because we do check internally to see if there's multiple applications with multiple lenders. So you do need to pick one. Now, if you get declined with one organization, you can go back and apply with a different lender. The maximum revenue for this business or for this loan program that your business must have had in 2019, the maximum is $250,000. So if you had more sales than that last year, again, this would not be the program for you. And then you also must demonstrate at least a 25% decrease in revenues since January 2020 due to COVID. So these are specifically loans that are you're getting in order to help your business because you had a lack of sales, or a decrease in sales because of COVID. And then the credit requirements are a little bit different from the last program. They are personally guaranteed loans. You can see some of the details there. No repos on cars or foreclosures within the last 3 years. No open liens and judgments, again, like I mentioned for the last one, delinquent on child support, and there's actually no minimum FICO score. So what we'll ask for, these are specific to both programs, is going to be an online application. There's no fee to fill out the application. The documents we'll provide, or that we will collect, are a copy of your ID, proof of your business entity, 3 months of bank statements, both personally and for the business, and then your business taxes, as well as your personal taxes from 2019. We'll also collect an automatic or electronic funding instruction form, which is also known as an ACH. This is all the information for your banking, so that if you are approved, it is just a smooth, quick funding process, as well as a COVID impact and recovery plan, which is actually provided to you in the application. And then, as I mentioned, the business counseling appointment with the Small Business Development Center or SCORE or Trust Plus, which is the credit that I was mentioning, and that's specifically for the 2.99 program. And I know this is a lot of information, so take notes as you have questions come up, and then you can put them in the chat, and then we will make sure to get to them at the end when we have the Q&A. This is the startup loan program specifically for this can be for startup businesses or existing businesses. So if you are looking to expand your business and you don't necessarily qualify for the other two programs, or you are starting a business, this may be the program for you. This is our regular loan program, starting from $300 loans up to $100,000 loans. And one thing I should mention is that all of these loans are term loans. So we don't provide lines of credit. We're not a bank, so we don't do credit cards, but they are term loans. The interest rate for this loan program, again, for startups or expanding your business, is 6.99 to 18.99%. So a little bit higher than the other programs, but the risk on these loans are a lot higher. To determine the interest rate is actually 8 different risk factors that we look at, and we do a calculation. So it's not just your credit score, it's not just this or that, it's all of these things in taking into consideration, looking to see what your interest rate may be. As it mentions on the slide, it's based off your overall strength. There's no prepayment penalties on these loans or any of the loans that we offer. The loans are fully amortized, and it's a simple and fixed interest rate. Now, we do provide 1% discount for veterans or active duty military. And then the term of the loans you can see on there from 12 to 72 months. And then the costs involved with the loans are dependent on the loan size. So anything under anything under $5,000 is $95. Anything over $5,000 is up to 6% of the total loan amount. And then we give $100 off for military or veterans. And the funding for these loans are, I would say, about 4 to 6 weeks at this point. We're working with a lot of COVID loans right now, so time frame is just a tiny bit longer than what it would normally be for our organization. And I'm going to talk a little bit now about how we evaluate loans and how we look at loans when they come in. So if anybody's ever heard of the 5 C's of credit, or maybe the 6 C's of credit, the first thing that is on there is your credit. So looking at your personal credit, these are personally guaranteed loans, all of them, meaning that if the business closes, right, if you lose your business, which hopefully, obviously, that does not happen. If you lose your business, close your business, or the business does not succeed or it's not profitable, you are still personally liable to pay the loan. So when I talk a little bit about the next point, capacity, what we're seeing there, with startup businesses specifically, is we need to make sure that you have a current source of income. That income can come from a spouse's income, it can come from retirement. Unemployment technically counts, but we do need, obviously unemployment ends at some point. So we have to look at all the sources of income that you have. If you're driving on the side for Uber or you're doing Postmates, that still counts as income, and we can still use that as income. But we do need to see that there is some money coming in to pay all your personal expenses, and that it makes sense to put yourself in additional debt at this time. So those are 2 things that we're looking at. The collateral that we accept on the loans are actually paid off cars. So we're just a small organization. We're never going to take a home as collateral, but we do use paid off cars just because they're a little bit more tangible for us to use. You can always use a co-borrower on your application to strengthen it. What I work on the front end with clients is trying to make sure that you have the strongest application possible, right? So if you come to me and say, I have really bad credit, or I have some credit challenges, what is one thing that we can use to mitigate that weakness? And one of those things may be adding a co-borrower onto the loan. For the capital aspect, we don't have a set requirement saying that you have to have a certain capital injection or a minimum amount of money to put into the business. We just, again, look at all the strengths of the application. And then the last point, conditions, we're looking at what is the purpose of the loan? What are you going to be using the loan for? Does it make sense? Obviously, during COVID times, it needs to make sense. And then how to apply. There's the website again that I mentioned, asoca.accion.org is a great website to see all of our different programs. Absolutely reach out to me if you have any questions, because I'd be happy to go over, your unique business situation. Everyone's different and their needs are different. So you might need something that is very unique, and I can try to help you find that, whether it's with our organization or with somebody else. And then we have a website that we update. Suzanne actually updates it very regularly with resources. So you can use that website to see any new resources that we know of in the community and any resources that we're currently offering. I mentioned that we partner with a lot of different community organizations. So one being the Small Business Development Center, and one being SCORE, the Women's Business Center. These are all listed on this slide so that you can get an idea of what they do for you. So if you need help writing a business plan, creating financial projections, which are two things that we are going to ask for the startup loan program, you can work with a counselor one-on-one. These are business mentors meant to work with you, have a relationship with you, build a relationship with you, so that you can continue to work with them as you start your business. It's not just meant to be like a one and done type of appointment. It's meant to be somebody that can really guide you through the whole process and able to stick with you. So these are great resources. If you haven't heard of the Small Business Development Center, SCORE, the Women's Business Center, reach out to them, make an appointment with them. If you'd like, we can connect you with them as well. We have contacts at all of those organizations, but we're happy to do that for you and with you, and really just here as a resource to help get you the right guidance that you need. And then at the bottom of the screen, I think I actually saw a question already from one of our participants about grants. There is a grant available in the the county of San Diego for businesses affected by us moving into the purple tier. So these are businesses affected by the indoor operations requirement of the closures. So if there's more information, I believe Suzanne's going to put the links in the chat so that you guys can click on that and find out more information on how to apply. And then there was $500 million just announced by the governor on Monday, but there's no specific details. That's another program. So if you want, Suzanne's also going to link in the chat where you can find out more information about that. And you can be put on an interest list and then contacted once more details come out with that. This is a slide about my team. These are my team members in San Diego, in all the counties that we service. You can see I'm in the top right-hand corner. To my left is Joyce. She covers the South Bay and East County of San Diego. I cover Central San Diego. And then my supervisor, Rosalinda Delgado, she's on the far left. She covers a bit of North County. Larissa Urias, under myself, is in the Imperial Valley. Melba is over in Riverside County, and then Christine is in the Inland Empire. So if you can see that we have our numbers and contact information there, just jot it down and make sure that you reach out to us so that, before you're applying for one of these programs, you're getting the best guidance, and that you can talk over these programs with somebody who knows them well, because, there are a lot of loan programs out there. So we want to make sure you're applying for the right one for your business. So thank you guys so much. Like I said, please ask away in your questions.